Hello. Here are 5 interesting stories about so-called time slips, phenomena where people suddenly find themselves either in the past or future, or see another time layer. I don't guarantee their veracity, they border on the paranormal, but they are interesting. Number 1. Sir Victor Goddard and Dream Airfield, Scotland, 1935. In 1935, Air Officer Sir Victor Goddard, flying over the former Dream Airfield, Scotland, saw the airfield looking completely different from what it had been. Active platforms, adult mechanics, yellow-painted aircraft and workers in blue overalls. But in reality, the airfield was almost abandoned in 1935, and only in 1939 was it rebuilt with yellow planes and personnel in blue overalls. This case is often cited as one of the most credible accounts of time displacement. Perhaps Goddard saw the future or a time shift. Number 2. Sebastian Garrido and the young grandfather in 2021. A young man named Sebastian Garrido claimed to have spotted his grandfather's figure on the street, but in the same form he had appeared some 30 years earlier. The figure uttered the words, "Tell your father I'll be okay," and disappeared. Meanwhile, his grandfather was in the hospital and was expected to die soon. This event deeply shook Garrido, who believes it wasn't a dream, but something timeless. Scientists explain such cases from a psychological neurobiological perspective, for example, hallucinations, the effects of electric fields, but the story itself remains a mystery. Number 3. Charlotte Ann Mobley and Eleanor Jourdan at Versailles in 1901, 1902. 2 English ladies, Professors Mobley and Jourdan, while walking in the gardens of the Petit Trianon, Chateau Versailles, reported suddenly finding themselves transported to the atmosphere of the late 18th century. They saw people in period clothing and felt out of time. They later published the book, An Adventure under Pseudonyms. Skeptics consider this either a collective delusion or a result of anticipation, but the story remains popular among paranormal researchers. The story is documented, it was even published, which gives it more credibility than pure legend. Number 4. Bold Street, Liverpool. In Liverpool, on Bold Street, one man and others witnessed it reported walking down a modern street in 1996, and suddenly everything around him began to look like it did in the 1950s. Shop windows, cars, the clothes of passersby. After a brief period of past, the scene returned to its present-day state. This is one example of how urban space can be time zones. According to paranormal explorers. Number 5. Itor, Majorana, and a premonition of war. The Italian physicist Majorana claimed to have had a vision of a future war, World War I, before it even began, seeing soldiers in trenches, airplanes, and the scale of the fighting. While not a classic temporal shift, this case appears more realistic, as it is described as a vision, premonition rather than a physical jump. It is included in reviews of temporal anomalies, as an example of how time perception can be disrupted even in scientists. What do you think about time shifts? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe to stay up to date.